Hello, YouTube. It's been a while. Hey, what's up? I'm doing another review for movies from the last 100 years. I'm not going to get to every era, but I'm going to get to as many films as I can this week. The next film is from 2013, a really good year for cinema. I mean, we had Frozen, we had Iron Man 3, which, I'm on the fence about, but it's not horrible yet. You had which Pixar movie came out in 2013? Was there one? Yeah, I think Monster University came out. Yeah, that was really good. So yeah, really good year. And this is one of the movies that I didn't see in theaters, but I did see it online, and I think it's a really good movie. I think it's better than the freaking people said about the source material is so good, but I didn't read the book, and that's Brad Pitt's movie World War Z. Thrilling, epic, and spectacular from Owen Gleiberman, Entertainment Weekly. This is a fun movie. If you haven't seen this movie, don't watch The Walking Dead anymore. That's boring zombie film, a boring zombie TV series that had lost its appeal a long time ago, just like Game of Thrones. And I think this is better. Although this should have been released as an R from the beginning because it's a PG-13 zombie movie. They did an unrated cut, which did add more blood and they added more things into it. But this should have been R from the beginning. The studio, who did this? The Skydance and Paramount. Yeah, next time Paramount, don't make a zombie movie for kids because no kids went to go see this. This was a huge hit. And where's our sequel? If the movie was a massive success, even though they had to reshoot the third act, where's our sequel? I think it's well done. I like the guy who directed this was Mark Foster. I think he's a good director for what he does. This has a really good cast. Brad Pitt is amazing in this movie. He's this is one of the few films he did without Angelina Jolie in his life, and he does a really good job as a lead. He's likable, he's strong, and he's a very caring human being. It's more than I got with it with his poor character in Mr. and Mrs. Smith. This also has Morel Enos. She's this beautiful actress here from you've seen her. That this is her. She's a gorgeous woman. She's from she was in a lot of shows. She was in Sex and the City, The Education of Max Bickford, Big Love, The Killing. She's a really good actress. I also liked her in the show called The Catch. She was one of the bright spots of that show. This is also written by Drew Goddard. I think he did. Did was he the guy that did Cloverfield? Yeah, he wrote Cloverfield. I like that guy. He also wrote Dead. He was an uncredited writer in Deadpool 2. That was cool of him. The Martian, Cabin in the Woods, but that movie is just it's overrated. Like that movie just was not funny. I just thought that it was really trying to be meta, but still Matthew Fox is in the movie also and James Badge Dale. It's got a small cast, but you remember them. It doesn't have any annoying characters. The film is 116 minutes, under 2 hours. It goes by quick. The film looks great. I think the city, the shots of the city, and the zombies running, like in the Dawn of the Dead remake, which I think is also underrated. It's really well done. Yeah, it should have had more blood. It should have had an R rating from the beginning. I think the zombies should have been more hardcore. But the zombies aren't boring in this, like in The Walking Dead, where they're there and then it's a drama for 2 hours. No, I don't want a drama. This film, I think, is a overlooked film. It got some good notices. It got a 7.1 on IMDb, so it has a fan base. It got a 66% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is not high. It's not certified fresh, but it did get some good notices. And compared to some of the movies that have come out this summer, this is way better than Dark Phoenix and the MIB International, which I thought was going to be good, but I skipped it because I'm like, I don't want the same thing. And it was a massive hit. In the US, this movie made $202 million in 2013. Yeah, that's a huge freaking hit. No movie has made that since Endgame. Yeah, guys. The only other movie that's come close to that is like the Aladdin 2019, which I don't want to see. Yeah. And this is not a remake, a reboot, a sequel, or a prequel. So, an original movie based on a book that I never heard of was a massive success. Also, it has Brad Pitt as a lead. We don't have that this summer, unfortunately, and he's a good actor. Worldwide, it made 554 million. Variety called it a bona fide box office hit. Yeah, so again, where's our sequel or reboot or whatever? I would like to see that. See yeah, they got a 66% It's uneven and diverges from the source book, but it still brings smart, fast moving thrills and a solid performance from Brad Pitt to the zombie genre. I agree with that. It's not like the source material. I never read the book. If I never read the book and I go into the movie blind and I enjoy it, I don't care. Maybe the book is boring. I don't know. But anyway, the film does what it does, and it's a really good movie. It's a well shot movie. It's a simple plot. This is the synopsis. Wait, let me get up. Former UN employee Gary Lane, that's Brad Pitt, his wife Karen, and their two daughters are in heavy Philadelphia traffic when the city is overrun by a zombie epidemic that are attracted to sound. As chaos spreads, the Lanes escape to Newark, New Jersey, and take refuge in an apartment home to a couple with a young son. UN Deputy Secretary General Thierry Mutani, an old friend of Gary, sends a helicopter to extract the Lanes and Tommy to a U.S. naval vessel in the Atlantic, where scientists and military personnel are analyzing the worldwide outbreak. Basically, that's what it is. Yeah, people trying to survive in a city run by zombies. There is a scene where in the trailer where the zombies are like in a row and they're falling in a CGI in like Israel or something. That could have been cut out of the trailer. You should have put that only in the movie because the trailer apparently has to show everything. There are some characters, some people in the background that don't really do much. That's one of the flaws I had. But I think it's a real well done movie. Like I think this is better than I Am Legend. Yeah, I could say that. This is not as downbeat as I Am Legend. It doesn't have the CGI bullshit zombies in that. It's not as lifeless and post-apocalyptic. It's done the right way because Brad Pitt is better than Will Smith. I do like that movie for Will Smith and the dog and the atmosphere, but the ending sucks and the CGI is bad. Here, it's got all of that except it doesn't have the downbeat stuff, which is good. And it's not a comedy. This is don't go into this thinking it's Shaun of the Dead. It's not Shaun of the Dead. It's taken very seriously, but in a fun way, not in a oh god, this is like a Man of Steel kind of. I prefer this over Man of Steel. It didn't bore me. It's shorter. It's got a better lead. It's a better looking film. It doesn't. They don't sap the color out of the movie. And yes, it has a blatant product placement, but it's done in a subtle way, unlike a Michael Bay movie. Brad Pitt is thirsty and he gets a drink of Pepsi. So what? Didn't they do that in the Transformers movies where Mark Wahlberg grabs a freaking bottle of Bud Light and drinks it on camera? I'm like, who the hell paid you to do a beer commercial? Mark Wahlberg. Come on now. And he was the only good thing in that movie, but that movie is shit compared to this. This is shorter, it's more fun, it's got a great cast, it's got atmosphere. The zombies look fantastic when they're not CG and they're up close, and there's a scene where Brad Pitt is trying to camouflage himself so he doesn't the zombies can't smell him, and the zombies are like and it's really well done. I got to show a picture of that. I don't want to get any guideline strikes, so let me just show you the World War Z zombies. This scene. This is what the zombie looks like. Yeah, it's really good makeup effects. I think the makeup effects are done well. The movie's good. I don't think it was one of not an overlooked movie because it was a success. But the fact that we didn't get a sequel just pisses me off because there are shitty zombie movies from the '90s and the 2000s and even the 2010s that get tons of sequels like direct to video or on Netflix or whatever, and yet we don't get a World War Z zombie sequel. And I think yeah, if I read the book and then saw the movie, I would have thought the movie sucked. But as a film, it works. The budget's on screen. It costs 190 to 269 million dollars, and it made like double that worldwide. And it says, yeah, the sequel, a sequel was announced shortly after the film's release, but in February of this year, it was canceled reportedly due to budget issues. Again, guys, make it for $50 million, and you don't have to get Brad Pitt back. If you just get Brad Pitt, or you get I don't know somebody that looks like him and continue the story. I think this movie could work as a Netflix movie if you can't do it in theaters. I would love this because I'm like I am a fan of the zombie genre. I like Shaun of the Dead. I like the original Dawn of the Dead and the remake of Dawn of the Dead and Day of the Dead, the original, and even Land of the Dead. I think is underrated. And yeah, it's considering how boring The Walking Dead has been recently, casting a bunch of British actors to play freaking American. Fuck you, by the way, AMC, for that, because you don't do that. You can't fool this eye. You see this eye? I see everything. online. I know who's not American and who's not. Brad Pitt is American and he kicks ass in this movie, and he's better than the freaking was it Andrew Lincoln, whatever the hell his name is. He's dry. I've seen clips of him. He's just so boring and just lifeless, and he has that look on his face the whole time. It's like Brad Pitt never looks like a Zambo in this movie. He is freaking on the ball. And I've always liked Brad Pitt as an actor. He's not just a pretty boy. He's a good actor. If you've seen California or this movie or other films he did in the 90s, I think he did Seven. I think he was in Seven. Yeah, he's a good actor, guys. He was not the problem with Mr. and Mrs. Smith. That problem was the writing and Simon Kimber. Again, go screw yourself, dude, for Dark Phoenix. Here, you got a good director. I like Mark Forster. I think he's a good director. His films look fantastic. No matter what you think of him personally, he did Quantum of Solace. Yes, that movie's problem was the editing. It was not Mark Forster's. He's an art director. He's from West Germany. He has a good eye for detail. I'll give him that. He also did Monsters Ball, which won Halle Berry an Oscar. That's a really good looking film. Finding Neverland. While I'm not a fan of the cast in it, except for Johnny Depp, that movie does look good. Like it looks Stranger Than Fiction. Christopher Robin. Yeah, he does movies that are very visually pleasing, even if the cast is not up to par. This is one of the best films that he directed with a kick-ass American cast. I'm not asking for much, guys. I am pro-American because I was born here in the good old U.S. of A. And it's directed by a West German, but he has a good eye for detail. See, I'm not a racist like some people say I am, but because he also did all I can see is you, which I never heard of that. That's with it's a psychological romantic thriller drama with Jason Clarke and Blake Lively. I like her. Yeah, he's got a good eye for detail. I do like the film. It is intense. It's exciting. It's got a good budget. I need to see this again. It's been a while. And if you're a fan of the PG-13 cut, the unrated cut is a little bit longer. There's a scene on the plane where this girl gets her hand chopped off and the blood comes out. That's in the unrated version. Here they just cut away, but it's still a good looking movie and it's a fun movie and it's not boring. Also, I like the fact that the movie is not it doesn't slow down. Like once it gets going in the city, once the zombies show up, the movie gets really really energetic and exciting because I'm tired of summer blockbusters being boring, guys. I didn't see Dark Phoenix because I heard it sucked and it was boring. I didn't see freaking MIB International because it's the same thing. Blase, let's do the first movie again. Or I'm tired of freaking animated movies just doing sequels to movies that didn't need sequels in the first place. Secret Life of Pets. Or remakes like Aladdin, where we've seen this movie already. We've never seen a zombie movie with a budget this big. George Romero, may he rest in peace, started that genre, and this movie should have finished it for a while because, like I said, I would love to see a sequel to this. I know I said that a lot, but yeah, this deserves a sequel, even if it's on Netflix. I would love to see it or a TV show like The Walking Dead, but less boring. Just saying. And like I said, it's not perfect. There are characters that are just there in the background. All I care about is Brad Pitt, his family, and the zombies actors that are trying. And of course, the action and the blood when it's there in uh, the atmosphere. But this is a good movie. If you skip this in the theater like I did, see it on DVD, Blu-ray, or watch it online. It's really good. And if you're tired of The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead and all this bullshit and zombies, which Disney did last year, that's worse than this. Because that was some G-rated bullshit movie with zombies that look like the Joker's children that don't bite brains. They don't look frightening. No, they just look kidified. Here, these zombies are here to play, and they run just like in the Romero movie, in the remake of Dawn of the Dead, and it works. It's scary. It's interesting. It's not a freaking joke. And Brad Pitt drinking a Pepsi. Yeah, oh, the movie sucks now because they did a product placement. Yet in Man of Steel, he crashes into a freaking IHOP and they throw a U-Haul truck, and there's way too much product placement in that movie. This movie's better. It only has one. It doesn't shove it down your face. Sometimes a subtle approach is the best approach, but this movie's good, guys. I do enjoy this film. I want to see it again. It's been too long, and it's very I would say underrated, but it's a good movie that got overlooked when they made the sequel. They should have done the sequel like 2 years later instead of these bullshit remakes on Disney and freaking reboots of everything. I'm like, just give us something different. That's what audiences are craving. That's why they went to go see this and not freaking Dark Phoenix. We saw it already done twice, and it sucked. And sequels to movies that no one asked for, and remakes of movies that were done animated and they do it live action and it's not good. It's just there. I want to see better movies in the summer. Hopefully, and Spider-Man Far From Home is going to do well, and of course it is because I'm going to go see it. I bought my ticket, and we get better summer movies in the next decade. Stop doing unoriginal bullshit. Give us something more like this because this is good. This is not a Marvel movie, and it's a good movie. I like this better than Iron Man 3. I'm going to say it right now because that movie had way more problems, and the supporting cast sucked ass. Here, it's way better, and it's a smaller cast, so it's not 100 people filling up time. And it's really a really good looking movie, and I think it deserves a second chance. If you skip this movie in the theater, or renting it when Redbox was popular, or if it's on Netflix, give it a watch. It's worth your time. I know this video's getting to 16 minutes, but yeah, this is a good movie, and it deserves a review because I didn't review it last year, and I want to see it for the summer again. It's been a couple years since I've seen it. So, and Jaquez, Josh, Anthony, Parker, Tevya. If you haven't seen this movie, or if you've seen this movie, give me your thoughts in the comment section and on Facebook because I really want to know what you guys think. Because you guys are my friends, and I wouldn't do these videos. I would be nothing without you guys. With your nice comments and thumbs up and sharing these videos. I really appreciate that. But yeah, World War Z is a good movie. I bought this at on Black Friday a couple years ago, and I didn't regret it because it's good. And Brad Pitt's awesome. The guy ages like a fine wine, and his acting doesn't get worse like Charlie Sheen and some other people. And he has steered clear of controversies, which is nice. Way to go, Brad Pitt. You did a good zombie movie. That hasn't been said in a long time. But thanks, guys, for watching. Take care. Passionate videos, man. I want to do these videos for you guys because I would just be a guy talking to a camera if it wasn't for you guys. Thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in the next review.